Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkovac. Today I'm going to talk about this arrow rack right here. A lot of you guys have asked me about it. I never paid much attention to it. You guys have seen it sitting up there on a shelf, and over the years a lot of people have asked me and questions on it, and so I thought I'd take a minute and do a quick video on this. What this is my arrow rack that I made 25 years ago when I was getting into traditional archery. I made it because I was using cedar arrows, and when I would leave them in a bucket, in a 5-gallon bucket, that angle they would always tip on, they would start to warp that way. So I wanted something that kept them straight up and down. I haven't used it much since. It's been sitting up there. Actually, these arrows are back from my recurve days. These are, 20-year-old arrows that are in here that I used to shoot out of my, these XX75 that I shot out of my recurves back in the day, stuffed with rope and ready to roll kind of thing back then. But this rack holds 96 arrows in here. So you get 8 dozen arrows in here. Back when I was in engineering, this is when I designed this thing and made it and built it. And it was nice then because I could build it all in CAD and design it, and the layout, and I had it on paper, and I could just lay it on here, tape it, and drill it. Good news is I built it all nominally, so everything is very easy to understand on here. Here's the part that's important. Pause this, get a pad and paper, or just something to write on. There's not a lot to remember, but I'm not listing all this stuff down below. I'm out in my garage. I'll take the measurements and tell you what they are, but I'm not going to write this stuff down and then come back and write it and put it in the descriptions. I'm just not doing it. So honestly, if you want it and you want to make something like this, you can wing it and do it yourself, or if you want it exactly like mine, write down these dimensions that I'll give you. But basically, 96 arrows is what you're getting, 8 dozen shafts in here. You can see the design of it, sweet, simple, and easy. Pass through on the top and half drilled through on the bottom. Again, this one's 25 years old. I made this out of oak. Okay, I went to Home Depot, and again, I drew it up. I'm an engineer, so that's what I did, and I knew exactly what I wanted. I drew it up how I wanted it. I went to Home Depot. This is 1 inch wide by 10 inch, or 1 inch thick by 10 inch wide oak board. Okay, that's what you got here. This is a 1 by 10 piece of oak. You can use pine. You can use whatever you want to. I used finished oak is what I bought. You're going to need about a 5-foot piece because you got to buy it by the foot. You're going to need 52 inches basically if you make it the same size as mine. Again, don't be afraid to make it smaller, shorter, depends on what you want. I mean, you can get 100 arrows on this thing. So a lot of option in a 26-inch space. But basically, these are two 26-inch boards, 26 inches long, again, 1 inch thick, 10 inch wide, which gives you 9.5 actually, okay? A 1 by 10 is not 1 by 10. It's actually 9.5 by 3/4. That's the way all wood works, so just understand that. But you basically got this 1 by 10 piece of 5 foot long oak board. I cut it at 2 pieces of 26 inches is what I did. So then what I did is I took one piece that I wanted to be the top, and I started laying out the grid on here. Now this is very easy to do. Don't let this get overwhelming or scare you with all these holes. Basically what I did is, because I knew I wanted to center it out on here, so I did the math. And I had to think, so I am 1 7/8 over from this edge, 1 7/8 inches to center here. Same with this side, 1 7/8 to center. Now the reason that the nice thing is I did this on a computer, so it was real easy for me to already know exactly what my specs were beforehand. So that's why I'm giving them to you now on it. 1 7/8 inch over from the edge, I drew a straight line down. Okay, or you will, I had a template, but you'll draw a straight line down there, down that board. From there, come over 1.5 inches, excuse me, and then draw another line. 1.5 inches, draw another line. 1.5 inches, draw another line. 1.5 inches, draw another line. All the way across so that you have 8 dozen. So you're basically talking, so that would be 16, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 lines going down this thing, 1.5 inches apart, with them being 1 7/8 inches from the end. Now that's not to the edges, that's to the center of the hole. Don't worry about where the center of the hole is, because you'll find that in a second. So don't get trying to figure out diameters and crap like that. Just draw a line, come over 1 7/8 inches from the edge. So you will come over from here 1 7/8 inches, draw that line down. From that line, come over from that line 1.5 inches, draw the next line. So do that all the way across for all 16 of them. Then you want to come exactly 1 inch from either side is how I centered it on this 1 by 10 board. 1 inch down. So you come 1 inch from this edge, draw a line all the way across. From there, come down 1.5 inches, draw another line. From there, 1.5 inches, draw another line. From there, 1.5 inches, draw another line. All the way down. You need 2, 4, 6 of them, okay? So you get a half a dozen arrows here, and then you're going 6 across that way, and then you're going to go, so you got 2, 4, 6 of them there, and you got 16 of them coming down here. It's going to give you 96 arrows or 8 dozen arrows is what you're going to end up with. Now the easy part is when you draw that line down here and then you draw these lines here, you're going to have an intersection, okay? Where that intersection is where the center of that hole that you're going to drill is going to be. It's going to be very easy to do it that way. So you're going to draw all your lines on here on this top board, put them on there, and then where those intersections are is what we're going to drill. Now, so then you have that. Don't worry about these holes down here. They're going to come together at the same time. Again, this whole project's like a half-hour deal. It's very easy to make this. So what you're going to do then is once you have that lines drawn on there, I was shooting again cedar arrows back when I made this, and then aluminums. I made my holes 1/2 inch diameter. Okay, this is 1/2 inch diameter holes that are in here. I can squeeze that drill bit in, but that's 1/2 inch diameter. If you're shooting mainly carbons or things like that, you want to go 3/8 inch. Doesn't matter, whatever size drill bit you want to use it. You're going to be just fine. But now, you're going to take this top board with all your lines drawn and the bottom board that has nothing drawn on it, put them right on top of each other so they even out nice and close all around all the corners, and clamp it together. Use a standard clamp, one of these kind of deals here. Use a couple of these, use a couple of C-clamps, whatever you want, but clamp them together so they cannot move. Then, what you're going to do is with your drill bit, you are going to come through the top one so that you poke all the way through the top. But in the bottom, you are only going to go half deep, half of that board diameter deep into there, okay? So if this was a bottom board, you're only going halfway into it. That is going to create this seat for your arrows to sit in. Otherwise, they just start all doing this stuff and hanging all over the place if there's nothing in the bottom board to hold them. By putting them there, you can drop them into their each individual holes like this when you put them in there, and now they don't move around, and they're perfectly in line straight up and down, okay? So you clamp this board to that board, you're going to drill your holes. The key thing to remember is you're going to need a drill stop. Because you don't want to, you got to know how far to drill into that. You got to go through this one and halfway into that one. They make drill stops that you can put on your drill bit, and you tighten it with an Allen wrench, and that will stop you every time for however deep you want to go. The other simple thing you can do is you could put tape around there, put a piece of electrical tape, stick it through this board and halfway into that board, and then mark that spot and put electrical tape. That works. Or an old trick that we've always done is you can use a socket, okay? On your drill and your drill chuck that's going to be here, I don't have one out here handy right now to show you. I might right here actually. On your drill bit, of course, it's all the way out. Let me bring it in here. But so on your chuck, you have distance in here on, see how far out you can come on this thing? You got, an inch, inch and a half depth on there. Well, you can take and put this socket, just a standard socket, whatever one fits, over top of your drill bit. Of course, I picked one that didn't fit. Let me just pull the smaller bit. But you can put a socket on there, and see, I can go that shallow on there, or I can pull this out deeper and lock that right there and have that kind of depth on it. I can change it in or change my depth of that drill bit and let this socket just spin freely as a guide. So if I were to do that, I'm not plugging all this in and messing with it right now, but let me see if I can snug her up here for you so you can see. Let's make it about that deep. Right there, hang on, we tighten it. Come on, there we go. All right, so with that set like that, when I drill through this one, I want it to go through the top of this one. See how it's popping out halfway underneath there? That's going to give me my drill depth into there. You want to set that for about half of that. So then as I drill my hole, I come in here, I start, this socket's going to just spin freely on here real easy. I hold the socket, put it there, once that socket hits, I stop. Go to the next one, stop. Next one, stop. And that's going to prevent me from going too deep through that bottom board. Makes life very easy. It's a very simple, easy trick. I don't own a drill stop. I've always done sockets like that. And there's different size sockets. You can use a short, use a long, whatever you want. Find the one and find whatever works for you for a socket. They make a great type of a drill stop. Got the top board drilled, bottom board drilled, you drill them all at the same time. So even though there's the 96 holes here and 96 half holes here, it's really only 96 holes you're drilling. Just zip, 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 zip. You could use a drill press if you got it. I did not. It was real easy to do by hand. It's not like you're trying to line it up for a real long distance, so it was really simple and easy to do. For the ends, okay, these are 1-inch dowels here, 1-inch oak dowels that I got again from Home Depot. Now, the key here is you do not just want to rest this board and this board on that dowel. That's not going to work, because then you'd start to get wobble in this, okay? It would wobble back and forth. This thing is 25 years old, and you could probably park a truck on it and not hurt it, because I countersunk those in there. So where this goes in on the bottom here, it actually goes up inside of there. So what I did is I bought a countersinking drill bit, a 1-inch diameter countersinking drill bit. You can get them anywhere. They're like $1, maybe $2. But what I did then is I basically countersunk that. I just put it in the 4 corners. I don't actually have an exact dimension for you to center if you wanted to figure for drill. I was about actually I was about 7/8 by 7/8. Okay, so I was 7/8. Yeah, same thing there. 7/8 and 7/8. So I was 7/8 of an inch from the edges to the center of where that dowel was going. 7/8 in, 7/8 of an inch in that way, off each corner. And then you put a cross right there and you drill at that cross. But again, you're going to go from the underside of this one, you're going to drill in that, and again, mark that drill bit so that you only go half inch in there, okay? On a drill bit like that, you might have to put electrical tape on there to mark it. But you're going to drill only half of the board deep into there. Okay, to countersink that, half of the board deep on the top of the bottom one, okay? Understand what you're seeing here, so figure that out. Top of the bottom one is where you have the hole sticking up. Okay, this one here, does, but you want to countersink it so that you're going to be able to sandwich that dowel between them. So that's all I did. Countersunk the 4 holes in there. I had a 1-inch diameter dowel. That thing was 12 inches long, I'm guessing, because it would have been probably 12 inches long. And countersunk in a 1/4 inch on each side. And then what I did is put a dab of glue in the hole, stuck the dowels in, and then I ran one screw just right here through the top, just drilled in, right there, did the same thing on the bottom of it, on them, put a screw in there and a screw in there to hold it, and sweet, easy, done, and stained it. So nothing to this, very simple, very easy to make. Like I said, actually in the amount of time I just talked about it, you probably could have had one just about built. It really is a quick and simple process, nothing to it. It's not very expensive. I want to say you're probably looking at like $30 total, but I mean, you're almost 100 arrows, 8 dozen, 96 arrows in a 10-inch by 2-foot package right there that's going to protect your arrows. The 1.5-inch spacing is big enough to keep even the biggest feathers from interfering with each other or getting in there, becoming a problem. Very simple, very functional arrow rack that has worked great. Again, I don't use mine very much anymore. It just sits out here. I keep all my arrows. I got so many arrow cases, plastic cases, and we got places to put them at, and I got them stashed everywhere, and I can separate them. But a lot of you guys asked about this, this arrow rack. Tell me about that arrow rack. Now you know how to make it. If you want one, that's the way to build it. So thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.